Hey everybody, Fletch from All Things Overlanding here. On today's Xterra Talk, I wanted to show you guys a modification that I get asked about quite a bit. I have a high lift jack because I'm on a 2.5-inch lift, Nissan MK84s up front, a rough country shackle lift in the rear with some modified shocks. They're actually the off-road trim Bilsteins. So I can't lift the truck with a stock jack anymore, obviously, because it's huge, and I'm on 33s. So I have a high lift jack. I actually wanted to get it up and out of the way because I don't use it that often, so I mounted mine to my roof rack. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through kind of how I did that, because there are a lot of options out there, but they're very pricey, and I'm cheap. So I made my own. I basically figured out a way to make my own. So again, I'm going to kind of walk you through how I did that, and I'm going to show them to you on the truck, and hopefully that'll be good info for you guys. If you're looking to mount a high lift to your roof rack, this will help you. So stay tuned to learn more. All right, guys, so one of the questions I get asked quite a bit is, how did you mount your high lift jack to your roof rack? And you know, there are a lot of really expensive options out there. You can see I need to get a new cover for it. It's getting pretty beat up. But there are a lot of really expensive options out there that you can spend a ton of money on to try and mount it to your roof rack. What I ended up doing, because I'm cheap and I didn't want to do that, was I actually just used, I believe they're 2.5-inch U-bolts, and then I got some flat steel pieces and some big bolts with wing nuts, basically, from Harbor Freight, or from, not from Harbor Freight, from Lowe's. And then what I did was I just cut, you know, the thick steel down a little bit, and I mean, you can kind of see it there. I'm not sure what exactly size it is, but when you're at the store, if you're looking, just look for, you know, the thicker the better, basically, if you've got the tools to cut it. I just used a 4.5-inch angle grinder cutter with metal cutting blades, which I think were from Harbor Freight. But so in the back, you'll notice here, it's not just a hole. When you put these on and then you're trying to adjust it down, it actually is kind of tricky to get it to mount. Like, you can't just drill 2 holes in it, or at least I couldn't just drill 2 holes in it. I kind of had to be a little bit adjustable. So what I ended up doing was I used my drill press and drilled a hole in each end, and then used my angle grinder cutter to cut a line out in the middle. So it gave me some flexibility to mount it. And then on top, you know, you can see up there, these things, they have like a metal piece that comes with them, and then the nuts. And so then I used that to sandwich the piece of metal between. But so just to be safe, I did 4 of them. Because again, this thing's fairly heavy. I mean, if you've had a high lift before, you know that they're fairly heavy. All right, guys, so after I went out to the truck and kind of shot that video that you were just seeing, I realized it was kind of hard to tell exactly what I was talking about and exactly what I was referencing. So I just wanted to kind of draw it up for you really quick on the whiteboard here. So basically what you're looking at, I'm kind of at an angle here, so apologize for that. You're gonna need, if you're gonna do 4 U-bolts like I did, you're gonna need 4 2.5-inch U-bolts, and it's been a while since I did this, so I'm trying to remember exactly how tall they were. I mean, here's the thing, is if you go taller, then you can always cut them off. Now when you do that, you run the risk of, you know, shredding your threads, and then that's not going to be as ideal to, you know, if you're taking them on and off. But here's the thing too, is like, I've never taken my U-bolts off again. I just take off those big wing nuts. So that's up to you guys. I would say though, I mean, since it's about 2.5 inches wide, if you went with like 3 to 4 inch long U-bolts, so say 3-inch, or they make 4-inch, I know, U-bolts too. If you went with, you know, 3-inch, it's not a very good inch, 3-inch or 4-inch tall U-bolts, and got 4 of them with a 2.5-inch width. So basically when you're looking at the U-bolt, you know, here's your threading. Here's your threading. You got 2.5 inches there, and then this height here would be, say, 4 inches, just to be safe. And you're going to want the ones with nuts. So make sure you pick up the ones with nuts. Those are your U-bolts. So you need 4 of those. Also, you're going to need 4. And I'm trying to remember the size of them. Honestly, what I would do is measure the holes in your high lift, because obviously they're all a little bit different, but measure the holes in your high lift, or whatever knockoff brand that you've got, and just make sure that the bolt is no bigger than those holes. So you need 4 grade 8, you know, like stainless or galvanized bolts grade 8 bolts with the wing nuts, or whatever you want to call those things. So basically what that's going to look like then is you're going to have, you know, your big bolt with the bolt head at the bottom, which I know that looks a little inappropriate, but bear with me for a second. Up here's your threading, right? And then you're going to have one of those wing nuts that kind of sits like this, and then has, you know, the big wing thingamajiggies off of the edge of it. I'm sure there's probably a technical term for that, but I'm not a hardware specialist. So, but if you look for, you know, some wing nuts that match the threading and size of your bolt, and you get 4 of those, then that's what's going to basically attach the high lift to your steel pieces, which we'll get to here in a second. So right now we've got our U-bolts, which are going to hold the steel piece that I haven't talked about yet to the roof rack, and then we've also got, you know, your big grade 8 bolts with wing nuts that are going to hold the high lift to that piece of steel that I haven't talked about yet. So that's an important piece of it too. And again, just measure the holes in your high lift, and, you know, that'll also tell you how far to spread apart the U-bolts. The nice thing is those are adjustable, right? So you could loosen them up, get them where you need them to be, and then run those big grade 8 bolts through there when you're ready. So the last piece that I need to tell you about is the steel, right? So I just got whatever was least expensive that still seemed pretty meaty. I want to say it was about 1/2 inch thick. Might have been more like a 1/3 inch. So it could be 1/3 to 1/2 inch thick, 1 inch wide steel. You know, they come in like big sticks, right? So you go to the hardware store and they've just got stacks of this stuff in there, right? They've just got stacks of these. And you're just going to look in there and just grab one of these sticks of steel out. And then what you want to do is, again, hold it up, right? So what I did was I actually took my U-bolts. So let's pretend like this right here's the roof rack, right? I actually held my U-bolt up like this, and then what I did was I took my steel piece and I just held it over the top of it. So pretend like this is, you know, if this was before I've cut anything, right? This is just a long piece of steel here, right? I hold this up to the U-bolts, and then I took my marker. I took like a dry erase marker, just like this one. And as I was holding the U-bolt up, I had my wife or someone help me hold the steel piece on top. I just went underneath, so I reached up underneath of the steel, and I just kind of circled around it, just traced around the U-bolt threading to basically mark where I needed to drill my holes. Another option though too is, you know, it's 2.5 inches across, so you could get, you know, as far as you need to be from the end of your piece of steel. All right, so here's your piece of steel. You could say I want that much buffer and make a mark right there. Then measure, you know, inside diameter is 2.5 inches, so measure 2.5 inches there, and then drill your next hole over here. That would also work, right? And then, well, the reason that I was holding it up was not only did I mark the U-bolt position, but then I also wanted to take a look, you know, so again, here's my roof rack, right? Coming through the middle of the U-bolt here. I wanted to see how far out I would have to get the high lift to come along here, right? So like here's the body of the high lift and the holes and everything. I wanted to see, you know, where did I need that to be? How far out from it did I need to be before I cut my steel? Now again, you could just go a little bit long. If you have extra, you can always cut it down. And then what I did was once I made one that I was happy with, I templated it. So then once I made one, I just used this one over and over again to make all 4 of them, which was really nice. Now here's the thing that I've seen not a lot of other people do that I did, and I want to explain why I did it this way because I'm worried that you guys might have the same problem. And again, it's been a couple of years since I did this, so I'm going from memory here. But so like I just showed you there, right? Like here's your steel piece, here's your roof rack, here's your U-bolt coming through. Here's the steel piece, right? So when I marked these holes, and I drilled them out pretty big, but you can't go too big, right? Because you just want that U-bolt to go through there. You could put a washer on there, which helps too, but then you're gonna bolt those things down tight, right? Like you're talking about holding a 50 or 60 pound piece of steel basically to your roof rack. So you can't go too big on the holes. So when I drilled my holes first, maybe I wasn't 100% accurate, or maybe, I don't know what the deal was. When I first did it, I was having a heck of a time getting the U-bolt to come up from under the roof rack and then just hit these holes perfectly. It was always just a little bit off. And I had to like angle it weird, and it was just difficult. So what I ended up doing just to make it easier on myself was I actually moved this hole out just a little bit more. I gave myself a little bit more room, and I took my 4.5 inch angle cutter grinder and I just cut this into a slit. So, you know, I drilled 2 holes at the end of where the U-bolt would go, use my angle grinder and cut 2 cuts, right? 2 lines out, so that basically what it looked like in the end, those steel pieces that you can't really see in my video, which is why I'm making this little appended part here, was they look like this. So it's got, you know, just drill press at the end, cut out with an angle grinder in the middle, but it's basically a slot. So the nice thing is then that gives me a ton of adjustability and angle. So again, with those U-bolts going up through there, and most U-bolts, when you're looking at them, here's another little thing that you want to think about. So here's your threading. Most of them will come with a nut, right, for each side, but they will also come with like a steel piece with holes in it. Real thin steel piece, but whatever. That will come with it too. So what you'll do is you'll set that steel piece down over top of this slit here, and then that is all the surface area that you've got, and then your nuts go down on top of that, which is really nice because that just gives you additional strength on top of it. But again, I ended up cutting mine like a slit. Again, it's been a while since I did it. Not sure that that's 100% necessary, but if you guys are having difficulty getting your holes to line up, that's an option. You can always cut out the middle, and that gives you more flexibility, go a little bit long on it. But that way you're not having to widen out the width or anything like that. You're just making it a slit basically. So again, that may be helpful for you. You might be able to get it with the holes. After you do the first one, make sure that you go back in and you test fit it. Test fit your very first one, have someone come out and help you hold everything up so that you can hold the high lift up there, make sure that everything is going to fit. Once you're 100% sure with that, whether it's the 2-hole method or the slip method, doesn't matter, then you can take this one piece of steel and use it as a template. So then you can say, hey, it's, you know, 4 inches long maybe, which is probably longer than that because this is 2.5. So I'd say it's probably more like 6 inches long. Now that's just a guess. Again, measure on yours to your high lift where you need it to mount. So say it's 6 inches long, this is 2.5 inches here in the middle of those 2 U-bolts. Maybe you got, you know, 1/2 inch back here, and then maybe, so what is this, 2.5 plus the U-bolts, call that 3.5. So this might be like 1.5 inches sticking out there. But so see, that still seems really short to me. So again, measure. Whatever that ends up being though, then once you have the first one, you can turn that into a template. You can make the rest of them, and you should be good to go. But again, it's super easy. You're just doing those 4 pieces of steel with 4 grade 8 bolts with the wing nuts, and then 4 U-bolts. And then just for added safety, I just got a cheap bicycle lock and put that on there too, so that somebody couldn't just come along and undo it. I mean, you still have to undo 4 massive bolts, so you'd have to have some sort of tools to do that. But then, you know, it is run through there, so they'd have to do some extra work. It would slow someone down, but it wouldn't stop them necessarily from taking it. So yeah, so that's how I mounted it up there. And again, it's been up there for 3-4 years probably. No problems, hasn't moved at all. And I mean, I think total I was maybe $50 into all the components and parts for it and everything. So I didn't feel too bad about it. All right, guys, so that was it. So as you can see, it's a pretty simple modification. It doesn't cost a lot of money. It's pretty easy. I did it with basic 4.5 inch angle grinder, and I have a drill press, but you could use a handheld drill too, maybe a vise. With those few things, you could make these things yourself for very little. And then, you know, hit them with some Rust-Oleum paint so that they don't rust. Throw them up there, mount them on with the U-bolts, and you're good to go. So again, I hope that was helpful for you guys. I hope that gave you some ideas and maybe gets the creative juices flowing so that you guys can save yourself some money and make some cool mods to your truck. If you liked the video, click like. If you guys have some ideas or something that you've used that worked better or maybe worked a little differently, comment down below and let me know. I'd love to hear from you. And then lastly, definitely click subscribe and the bell button to be notified when I drop new videos. So I do a ton of Xterra content. I do a ton of off-roading and overlanding content, and I do gear reviews too. So if you're in any way into camping, off-roading, overlanding, or particularly Nissans and Xterras, definitely click the subscribe button because there'll be a ton more content coming for you guys. So again, thanks for watching. I appreciate it, and we'll talk to you soon.